Hey folks, it's Chad here at Airstream of Greensboro. Behind me I have the all-new 2024 Flying Cloud 23-foot front bed, and today we are going to do a walk around of the 23-foot front bed. Now this is the queen bed version of it. There is the twin bed option that started last year in 2023 and of course continued into 2024. Now the twin bed is probably my personal favorite of the two, and I'm going to show you, or I'll compare both of them today so that you can kind of see the differences between the queen bed and the twin bed. Now let's jump into a walk around of the 23-foot. We're going to look at the outside, the inside, the top, and the bottom. Let's get starting with the 23-foot Flying Cloud. I wanted to mention a few things with Airstream of Greensboro. We are the largest Airstream dealer network in the country. We generally are going to have about 500 Airstreams at any given time available to us. Now they won't necessarily, they're not going to all be on our lot. We do have quite a few Airstreams, as you can see right here behind me. They kind of go all the way down, but there's a good chance if there's a specific floor plan that you're looking for, we're going to be able to get that for you fairly quickly, and we're generally going to have the best pricing, the best trade values, those types of things. So if you're in the market for an Airstream, the 23-foot as it sits here, be sure to reach out, give us a call. We're not only going to give you the best pricing, but we're also going to give you the best customer service as well, and the best buying experience, I should say. Now, jumping into the 23-foot, this is going to be a unique floor plan for the Flying Cloud. It is a 23-foot, it's just a little bit over 23-foot, but it's an 8-foot wide body with a dual axle, as opposed to the 8-foot 5.5-inch wide body on all of the other Flying Cloud floor plans. So only the 23-foot is going to be the more narrow floor plan. That is going to be the 8-foot wide body. Now you'll notice it when you're hooked up, you won't see quite as much of it hanging out on the outside from either side of your tow vehicle, as well as when you're inside of it, you're also going to notice that it's an 8-foot wide body with the Flying Cloud. I'd love to see kind of a concept of them going to a wider, the wider, 8-foot 5.5-inch body with this floor plan, and what they would be able to do with it. Definitely would give you a little bit more room. Now we are going to go ahead and start on the inside, because that is where everyone likes for me to start. Now I will have chapters inside this video, so you'll be able to skip forward to different sections depending on what you're actually looking for. And I never know who's actually watching my videos, how much research you've done. So I kind of treat every video as if this is the first time you've looked at an Airstream. So I talk about a lot of things that you may already know if you're an Airstream shopper and you've been researching, but I don't know that for everybody. So I kind of go that route. So if you're wondering why I'm so long-winded, part of that's because I just talk too much. That's part of my nature. But two, I don't know who's necessarily watching it. Now, stepping into the 23-foot, one of the things I will say about this floor plan, it is going to be one of the floor plans that has potentially the best bathroom. Ooh, it feels nice in here. So I've got the AC running right now. It is on, and we've got all the lights on as well. Now it's going to have one of the best bathrooms as far as Airstream's Flying Clouds go. Once you step up to the 25-foot, you're going to go to a split bath, where this has a full bath across the back of it, kind of a rear bath style floor plan, which of course you're going to get to see here in a few minutes. Now the 23-foot, you're going to have this U-shaped dinette here. Now it can kind of fit 4 people, maybe 2 adults and 2 kids. That is technically seating for 4, as they would say at Airstream. And then you're going to have the kitchen area opposing that U-shaped dinette. Lots of good storage in the kitchen. You also have a unique Norcold, I think it's Norcold, no, it's not Norcold, it is Nova, I think is what that brand is called. But it's a unique refrigerator to the 23-foot. Once you step up to the 25-foot, it goes to a Norcold 12-volt fridge, but that is a 12-volt fridge as well. Now let's start with the kitchen area here. We're going to have the solid wood countertops here that have a laminate on it. It does have the T-molding, but that is actually plywood there. It's not Formica, that kind of stuff there. You're going to have a surface mounted stainless steel sink that is dampened, meaning that it's going to be a little bit quieter when you're using it, something that you see in a lot of your luxury homes. It's also going to have a residential style faucet that does have a pull down for the little faucet handle there. And then you've got really nice port windows. Now this is going to be looking out over kind of the non-campsite side, we call it roadside, but the business side of the coach as opposed to the campsite side. Now, one of the things I do like about this floor plan, your two large windows that are behind the dinette, those are actually looking over your campsite. So when you're camping, that's your campsite side. You might have your chairs there, you may have the awning out, but you're not looking over, you know, the person beside you's campsite with those style windows. So that is one of the benefits to the 23 floor plan. And we're going to have our solar charge controller here. If you get that option, you have your inverter, which is now a 2,000 watt inverter that started in the 24 model year. Now, one thing that we like to say or talk about at Airstream, we are a 5-rivet dealer, and that is not easy to get and not easy to maintain. I will honestly say that it's very difficult to get it and keep it. Now, on the solar, to kind of go back to that, you're going to have basically 3 options with the solar. So you can do no solar, but it will be prepped for solar. So it's pre-wired on your solar. That's one option. The second option is to get just solar but no battery. So you'd have the solar on top of 300 watts, which is 3 100 watt solar panels up there. There's a panel made by Marlin. It's a military style panel. It's also a rigid panel, so it's mounted with a little bit of room underneath it so you can get a little bit of breeze through it, keeps it cooler and makes it run more efficient. And then the third option from the factory now is to get that same solar 300 watts, but with two 100 which would be 2 fingers, not one, 2 100 watt 100 amp hour 100 amp hour Battle-Born batteries. They are the heated version of those batteries, so you'd have a total of 200 amp hours with your batteries. They also will come with a smart shunt from the factory, so you can manage those batteries, see what their state of charge is, and of course they wire it so you can turn the internal heater on those batteries on and off depending on where you're camping. You can discharge fairly cold, I think even below 0, but it's hard for them to receive a charge if they're under a certain temperature. You flip that switch on, the battery will manage itself. If it needs to turn on the internal battery heater, it will do that. So you have 3 options: no solar, pre-wired, solar, no batteries, and then solar with the 200 amp hours of Battle-Born batteries. Now, if you do opt for the, there we go. If you do opt for the solar, you're going to have the solar charge controller. Now, the wattage that you're going to see there, that's telling you what the production is of the solar. Now, you can see that be as low as 0 even on a sunny day if your batteries are full. Now, this particular camper has the option with solar and no battery, so it's just supplementing some of the energy that's being drawn from the shore power with the 12-volt lights on is what you're seeing there. But if you're plugged in and the batteries are full, you may see that show 0 because it just doesn't have anywhere to put power as it's producing it. Now, above the dinette, you're going to have 2 large lockers for storage. Great storage up here, and then it's got a little bit of a lip here, so you're able to put things in here and they won't slide out while you're traveling. You do have soft close on all of your cabinet doors, so they will close nice and soft. And then to the left of that area, you're going to have a little bit of storage there. I call it the cereal box storage. And then below that area, you have a really nice pantry that pulls out. Now, if you're wondering what the difference between the 22-foot Bambi and 22-foot Caravelle compared to the 23-foot Flying Cloud, because they are very similar floor plans, the pantry is going to be one of those. You're not going to get the pantry in the Bambi or the Caravelle. Of course, the Flying Cloud is going to have the double axles. The Bambi and Caravelle will have a single axle, and you're going to get more wardrobe storage with the Flying Cloud, as well as extra storage there in the bedroom area. Now, under the kitchen sink, we're going to have some additional storage. You also have your trash can here that comes with every Airstream, and then we've got some pull-out drawers. Should be your silverware organizer right here in the top drawer, and then just more storage below that. And of course, we've got a little storage area to go into there. You're going to see the furnace outlets below. There are no furnace vents in the floor. The floor is going to be completely flat. Now remember, this is going to have the new composite floor in it. So there's no wood in the floor, and of course there's no wood in the walls. You're going to have Airstream's semi-monocob, I think I'm saying that right, superstructure. So it's going to be essentially one structure from floor all the way around all the way around the coach, and then down to the other side is all going to be one structural piece. And then you're going to have your butt rivets on the inside. You do have pop rivets on the inside, so outside of butt rivets, inside is going to be the pop rivets. Now these, you can occasionally see these work themselves out. You just simply replace those. On the outside, those butt rivets should not work themselves out. Once they're installed, they're pretty much there permanently. Now we're going to have the 3-burner Furrion stovetop with the cool little lights for the lights around the knobs here. And then we do have the glass cover here that will close and gives you a flat surface, so you have a little bit more counter space, except for that does stick up there, but other than that it's going to be flat. And then we have a true vent that actually vents to the outside, works very well, and has a really nice LED light to light up your surface space. You also have another LED light right here, and the switch to turn that on and off is going to be right there. Below this, we have the optional convection microwave. Now if you choose not to get this microwave, you're going to have a propane oven in this place, and then you will not have a microwave. So we generally will see this ordered with the microwave and the convection option. Now looking at the refrigerator that we get, there is a little travel lock right there that you can move out of the way. And the way to get these to open, the trick is to kind of push down with your fingers as you're pulling up with your thumb, and then it will open right up. That is the trick to this refrigerator. You're gonna have a nice deep fridge. There's no fins in here because this is 12 volts, so there's none of that propane stuff that you need. You're also gonna have little drawers that pull out. This is gonna be the refrigerator part, and then below is gonna be your freezer part right there. And I've got this plugged in. It's already cooling down. It takes you about 30 to, well, about 45 minutes to cool this down, but it's already pretty cold now, and it's only been on for maybe 20 minutes. And above this, we're going to have a little bit of storage there, and it doesn't go very deep. This door is also not held up by anything, so if you let go, it's just going to shut as it did there. Now beside this area, we're going to have one of your wardrobes, great storage above. And then we've got, of course, a light in here. We've got a bar for hanging things. It is carpeted there on the floor, and you've got great room for storing things in there. And of course, you can add shelves and different things to make that more useful as you need. And then flipping around, I'm just going to go ahead and show you your other wardrobe that you get with the 23-foot Flying Cloud, but you're not going to get with the 22-foot Bambi. Goodie box will have things like the backup monitor for your backup camera that comes standard. We do have large pull-out drawers right here, full extension. They come all the way out, and then another one right there. So lots of good storage right here in the bedroom for a 23-foot floor plan. And then as we swing around, you're going to see that dinette that we already talked about. There is storage underneath the dinette right here. Good storage there. It's not accessible from the top, just from the front. And then we've got more storage right there. And that one is accessible from the top. And then above the dinette, we're going to have two more large lockers for storage. We've got the pack that comes with every new Airstream right here with all of your manuals in it. And then this brings us to a new spot for the 2024 and 2023 model year. So you're going to have a couple of things right here. We're going to have an inverted circuit so that you can plug things like DVD players in right here if you wanted to. You could also plug in like Roku's, Apple TVs, Starlink, any of that type of stuff that you need to have power, and you may need to have it inverted when you're off-roading or boondocking. We're also going to have a USB plug right here. So if you want, yep, right there. That's going to the back of the radio, JL audio radio. We have an HDMI port. Then we have the Cat 6 port. That's going to connect to the outside, and I'll show you where that's at in a second. Now on the 24s, your 12 volt power for the HD TV antenna is going to be located here as opposed to behind the TV as it was in the past. The little button right there, you're going to push to turn that on and off. You're also going to see a red light at night above the camper. That the antenna actually has a red light that glows when it has power. You can see it at night. There's also access to get behind the radio here into here if you need to for any reason. And of course we got the power there. Now there's no shelf or anything here, so this is kind of BYOB as far as bring your own device. I guess BYOD, bring your own device for what you might want to plug into the TV. You're going to bring your own device right there. And then beside this area, we have the very nice JL Audio radio. This is going to be AM, FM. It's also going to have Bluetooth capabilities. Great sounding radio. And then the speakers in this camper are in the correct location. You're going to have, well, somewhat correct location, but you have two right here above, just above the main area. And then there should be two more under, yep, one there and then one right there in the bedroom side. Not a fan of that location, but I do really like the location for when they're above, and, you know, they're in the ceiling. I'd like to see these spread out, kind of one there and one kind of right here would be nice. But that is the location for those. And so AM, FM, and then Bluetooth works great, sounds fantastic. Love the JL Audio radio, and then you also have JL Audio speakers as well, and then a subwoofer. Now, focusing again on the dinette, these two windows here are going to open. You also have multiple windows in the bedroom area. So the one in the very front is going to open. This emergency exit does open, as well as functions as your emergency exit. And then the window at the front of the bed also opens. Now, the dinette. Let's talk about the dinette for a second. So I'm going to try to get the camera set up so I can show you the dinette. Okay, so the dinette, there's a couple of ways that we can sit here with the dinette. I can sit here, you know, sit on this side. We can have someone there, maybe a couple of people there, and someone there. Now, the one thing I have noticed about this, and if you guys watch my videos, I think one of the things, hopefully, that comes across is I just kind of say it like it is. I don't try to sugarcoat things or pretend that things are better than they are. My philosophy is you can see it. See if that, yeah, you're gonna see it when you come look at something in person. So why pretend like a flaw isn't a flaw or something's not you know, exactly correct? So now one of the things I want to mention on this U-shaped dinette, it's not one of my favorite dinettes. The center cushion here is going to be somewhat small. It's not very deep, and there's not just a lot of room to sit here. So this is not, to me, a four adult dinette. This is two adults and maybe two kids. With my legs right here, there's not room. So if I sit in the middle, there's not going to be room for two adults to sit, you know, adult here and adult here. So something to think about when you're looking at this floor plan. This is really going to be kind of two adults here and maybe, you know, a couple of kids here, if you're, you know, maybe grandkids, or if you have kids. Of course, this turns into sleeping so they can sleep here. Now, if you're sitting right here and you've got someone there, this is fairly comfortable and it works well. You've got plenty of room. You actually have quite a deep table. You can also turn this around and kind of you know, set it from width that way. One of the things I like to do is sit in this corner. The TV here will swing around. You can sit there, have the table kind of like this, and then have the TV right there, and you can work or, you know, play card games, whatever you want to do while you have the TV on. So that's one of the things I do like about that. Now, this does turn into a bed, and the bed is going to be 76 inches deep, so you can put an adult here. And let me do that for you real quick. Take these pillows, and these are part of the package that you get from Airstream, the pillows that you get from them. Then you'll unhook both of these. This is going to push down. Now we need to pull those out first. So you take all of this stuff out. Now I'm just going to throw it back here, but you could put it on the floor, you know, somewhere of that nature, just to have it out of the way. But for the sake of the video, I'll just put it back here for now. And I like to pull these larger cushions up kind of out of the way so I can get the table down in place. And we're going to bring that down and over and then lock them in place. Put that back down, this one back down, and then pull this cushion out. put it like so, and that's going to slide right there, and that one's going to go right here, and you've got essentially your bed. And as far as what it looks like to have a grown person laying here, there's plenty of room. You know, I can lay here. I'm 5'9", probably 5'10" with shoes on, so there's enough room. You can easily sleep here as an adult if you need to, and of course you could definitely put two kids here. Now, to get this back up, you're going to basically do the opposite. So pull these out, throw them over, push that back, go ahead and lift these up so they're out of the way. Go ahead and hold this table because it is spring loaded. It will want to come up on its own. Bring it all the way up, and we can slide that down, that down. Put our corner pieces back in right there, right there. I think it goes, got these backwards like that. The little concave portion here, I think that's going to go against the wall just to give you a little bit more room on the latches for the door. And then you've got your center piece, fits in there. And then we've got our backrest for the main seating position, and then we've got that back in place. So that's the dinette. Not too difficult, works pretty good, especially if you're looking for an easy way to make a quick bed in the event that you need a bed for a grandkid or for kids. So that's how you do that. Now we're going to move into the bedroom area. So this is the queen bed. I'm going to cut in right now and show you the twin bed, and then we'll get into the queen bed. This will basically be what the twin bed looks like on the 23 front bed. Now this is a 25. I thought I had a 23 twin bed, but I don't. So the aisle is going to be a little bit skinnier right here on the 23 because it's an 8-foot wide body. Otherwise, it's going to be very similar in the twin bed, and you're going to have this big aisle here that really opens this space up and allows it to be a room. And that is one of the things I like about the twin bed, especially on the 25-foot and the 23-foots. Now, you get whatever works best for you. But as far as just kind of my opinion, and that's all that is, I do think the twin bed really makes sense on those shorter floor plans. As you get to the longer floor plans where you have a north-south bed as opposed to east-west bed, it's more, it's more doable in that sense, in my opinion. But that's not necessarily the right thing for you, and you've got to kind of make the decision of what is going to work for you. Now you're going to have storage underneath here and here. This will be a little bit different because this isn't international, but you'll have storage there. You're going to have storage on this side as well, and then your battery box is going to be right there instead of where it is. Well, no, the battery box will stay the same on the it'll still be over under the refrigerator as it is on that 23-foot that we're currently doing a walk around up. So let's jump back into that part of the video of showing the queen bed in the 2024 Flying Cloud 23 front bed. Okay, so you just saw the twin bed interior. This is going to be the queen bed. Now I really do like the twin bed compared to the queen bed. I just think you have so much more room with the twin bed as far as actually being able to use this as a room. But the queen bed, that's all they used to make. So definitely a lot of these queen beds out there in the in the Airstream world. Now that's going to be a kind of a small queen. It's an Airstream queen. There is some room if you kind of look right here around the edge. So let me get this turned around. So if you look kind of down, take the face tracking off. There we go. You'll be able to see I can walk around. You have the ability to do that. Now I can't go, if you kind of look where I can't go all the way around the bed there. There is a little bit of space right here, but it's really not enough for an adult to come around, but it just kind of makes the space feel a little bit bigger. Now on the 22-foot Bambi and Caravelle, that's going to go all the way up to the front, and it's going to go all the way to this wall, this inner wall here. Now as far as the space goes, it is a nice large bed, and I'll lay down on it just to give you an idea what it looks like. We got lots of pillows here, all the pillows that come with it. We have a pretty good room here. You know, 2 adults can definitely sleep here. Much better than some of your other, at least Caravelle and Bambi floor plans with a queen bed style bed in it. You are going to have the 2 lockers above for storage. Now to get to these lockers, just something to think about. You are going to be crawling over the bed. To get to at least that locker, you can get to this one from the side of the bed, so something to just keep in mind. We do have power on this side, right there, and a USB, both the USB-C and USB-A. There is a shelf there, so if you need, you know, somewhere to put maybe a CPAP at night, you have that spot there. Now that plug is not going to be inverted. The plug that will be inverted is going to be right here. That is one of the changes I would love to see Airstream make, is to remove that plug, since we now have the 12-volt smart TVs, to move it to there and then let that one be inverted for nighttime if you need a CPAP or something like that. We have our AC control right here. And then on your TV, again, it's 12-volt TV. It's a smart TV now. You can use things like YouTube TV, of course, YouTube Prime, Netflix, all of those types of things. You can download that and it does work. I've tested that. And then this TV also has the ability to swing all the way around, as you can see here, and actually face into the kitchen if you like to, and they do give you a little bit of extra wire here. It is a 12-volt TV. There is a little fuse right there for the 12-volt, and there are a couple of extra HDMIs, so if you wanted to add something else to the back of that, say a Roku, you could do that as well, and then just use that as your TV as opposed to the software that's on the inside. Now there is some storage underneath this bed. You can access some of it right here at the front, and then you can also lift the bed, and you're going to have quite a bit of storage underneath. The 2 bins do come with the unit, so you have that, and then you've got a little bit of extra storage on both sides, and of course you've got this little bit of storage right there and a huge storage compartment there, and again you've got that little bit of storage over there. So lots of great storage underneath this camper, underneath this queen bed. Now I've done made it a mess. Let me pull that down. Okay. So next thing I need to move, and again, that window opens, this window here opens, and then the window in front of at the front of the queen bed opens as well. There's not any storage up here. That bed's going to go all the way to the front there. And then as far as power, there's no power on this side of the bed, and there are no USB plugs on this side of the bed. That's something that we definitely need to add to this floor plan, power and USB on this side. We do have a reading light right there, which is nice, and there's also one over there on the left side of the bed. You got one right there, and one at the front for some reason. The next stop is going to be the huge rear bathroom that you get in this floor plan. So let me open this up real quick. So you're going to have a huge bathroom for a 23-foot style camper. It's basically the same bathroom that you're going to get on the Bambi or the Caravelle 22 front beds. The toilet is going to be raised a little bit because you're going to have black tank connections under there. It is a porcelain toilet, which is quite nice. We're also going to have toilet paper holder right here. Oh wait, no. Ah, they moved it. That's a much better location. So toilet paper holder there. If you do have storage in this area as well as behind it. And then we got a little storage part there. We're going to have storage under the surface mounted stainless steel sink. Just right there. Don't worry about that pink. That's just winterization fluid. Now, as far as the throne goes, we do have lots of room in here. But lots of leg room. I can easily close that door. It's not anywhere in the way. It's very easy to get to the toilet paper holder in this floor plan. We're also going to have right here beside us the light switch for the bathroom, the water heater control, Remember, that's a tankless hot water heater, or tankless water heater, I should say. You know, set that temperature to the temperature you want to take a shower in, and then just turn your hot water on. And above that, you're going to have your sea level monitor system. Not sure what HH means. I'm sure it's a code for something, but you'll have fresh water, gray water, black water. Now the battery will work if you use lead acid or AGM. It will tell you fairly accurately what the charge is on your battery. If you're using lithium, that's not a good way. You're going to want something like a smart shunt, which comes standard from the factory. If you have us install lithium batteries, we also will install that as well. Now, as far as the bathroom area, again, stainless steel sink. We've got power right here and a nice little shelf area to store things. In the bathroom when you're camping, this window here does open, which is really nice. We've got a little hand towel holder. Now, the mirror situation here is not necessarily the best. It does have the magnifier, 8 times magnifier on the other side. And then we'll go away there. Now you could easily put a mirror right, I mean, not easily, there's a concave here, but you could put a mirror there, and I'd love to see Airstream do some type of mirror right here, not just this little mirror there. That is the current setup for the Flying Cloud 23 foot. Now the bathroom in here is going to be fantastic as I climb in. It is one of my favorite bathrooms for Airstream. There's a ton of room to be able to take a shower here. You easily close the door. I can move all the way around. I mean, this feels like a luxury spa to me compared to our 25 foot that we have. Now, most of your floor plans are going to be a split bath. They're not going to have a shower this large, but this shower is phenomenal. You've got plenty of space to store things. Get that. Keeps wanting to do face tracking and then throws the camera all off. There we go. So you got a little storage thing there. We've got some down here for your soaps and things. There's also a super nice seat to be able to sit down on, and of course there's just tons of room for your feet. Now there is a small step up if that's something you need to be concerned about. So about, what, 6 inches there of a step up. See if I can even, I'm getting that in the camera. So about 6 inches for your step up. But that is a phenomenal shower. And if you've seen a lot of my videos or just a lot of Airstreams, the shower is not usually the best shower in the world. And we know that as Airstream buyers. We know what the shower is. That's the situation. To get that split bath, or to get the panoramic views on both sides, have the rear bed or front bed, really only option is to do a split shower. Now this particular floor plan could almost be called a 23 RB for rear bath because you have such a large bathroom. But they call it front bed because the bed's in the front, and you know, that's just the nature of this. You do have a towel rack right here. I didn't mention that. And then, oh, vents. So the vents for the bathroom, there's not going to be a vent in the bathroom. There's not one up there. There's an LED light. There's not one in here, which we normally will see with a split bath. Your vent for this bathroom, it's going to be your fantastic fan that's right here. So there's an opening right there that would allow your steam to come out, smells to come out up here, and then go right out the Dometic fan that you have right there. And then that's powered, so you're just going to hit switch. So that's turning the fan on. This switch here is actually going to open it, and then we need to turn the fan speed on. And there it goes. And now it's going to open, it's powered. That's going to kick on. We can control that fan speed right there. Turn the fan on and off right here. And now it's open. And then if we want to close it, we're just going to flip this switch back, and it will now close. But you do have that Dometic fantastic fan. That's going to be both for the kitchen as well as the bathroom. We're also going to have the ducted AC in here with the new GE air conditioner. That does have a MERV 8 filter in it, which is really nice. We haven't had that in Airstreams. It's just been a very thin, almost non-existent filter up until 2024. Now we have that really nice MERV 8 filter that's in there that is replaceable. And then we've got the ducted AC. We're also going to have LED plug lights all throughout the camper as well. And we've got the nice little hangers here for your coats, which we don't use that. We use it for keys. And then of course you've got the Airstream whiteboard they like to include everywhere. Additional coat hangers there. Now this is going to be an access panel for the back of the shower controls. We've got overhead lights right there. We've got our awning lights. That's going to be for the step light there. And then you've got your battery disconnect switch right here, which controls a remote solenoid. that's actually in the back of the power box there. Now that power box does have a auto detecting converter in it for charging your batteries, as well as providing power to your 12 volt appliances. Now the way 12 volt systems work, when you are plugged in and you've got batteries on, the batteries are really what's providing the 12 volt, consistent 12 volt power to all of your 12 volt devices, even when you're plugged into shore power. The converter that's in that box, and when we say converter, you got two kind of converter-inverter parts on this camper. The converter is going to convert AC power to DC power. It's going to mostly charge your batteries, which are then providing DC power to all of your DC appliances, so lights, refrigerator, TVs, all of those types of things. And then when you're not plugged up to shore power, those batteries are going to continue to provide DC power to all of your DC appliances. But when you're not plugged up, you don't have AC power. So if you need AC power when you're dry camping or boondocking or whatever it might be, you have an inverter, and the inverter is going to invert DC power to AC power and make those, you know, labeled sockets provide AC power up to 2,000 watts when you're dry camping. So you've got a converter and a inverter on all of your Airstreams. The converter is going to be in the back of the power box there with your breakers and your fuses. Now one of the cool things that they've done recently, probably 23 I think is when they did this, the fuse part of that power box for all your 12 volt appliances, they have a little LED light, so if you have a blown fuse, it will light up red. It'll have a little red LED light to indicate which fuse is blown, so you don't have to pull every fuse out and look at it to see if it's blown. It will tell you that it's blown. That's a super nice feature. Now you do have some 12 volt devices that are connected to what's called a 12 volt distribution box. That's going to be generally in the front, and things like your ton jack, your propane detector, those types of things are always going to be connected to the battery, even when you have your battery disconnect off. And that's why you will always get some what they call ghost charges, even when you've got the battery disconnect off. And that's what makes the solar really nice, because that solar is going to compensate and cover those ghost draws. All right, so let's jump to the outside of this flying cloud and do a quick walk of the outside. And of course, we'll look at the top and we'll look at the bottom as well. If you're enjoying this video and find the information in this video useful, if you would, click that like button. Make sure you subscribe. A large percentage of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel, and it would do me a huge favor, and it helps the channel in an extreme way. That doesn't make sense, but it helps the channel by having the subscribers, and we're over 5,000 subscribers. I'd love to be able to get to 10,000 subscribers before our 2-year anniversary coming up in October. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching the video and you find this useful, click that subscribe button for me. That would be awesome. Now jumping to the outside, let me flip this camera back around. There we go. We're going to have the standard rock guards right here. Those are going to be stainless steel. They're protecting this front corner and section from rocks. It's also an easier part to replace in the event that you have a rock kick up and dent that. Then you're going to have your solar guards above, and these are going to help protect those glass windows. So this is going to be kind of a plastic material. These will also open. There's just 2 screws there kind of in those areas there. Quarter turns will allow you to swing that around and clean that out. And of course the center one's also going to open, and that allows you to clean that center window but also open that center window as well. Now you're going to find 2 30-pound propane tanks under that cover. You have a 3,500 watt power ton jack, which is great, with a little light on the front that you can turn on and off. And then we have the Demco hitch system, which is fantastic. You don't even need to lift it to put it on. It will slide up and then lock itself back down. Super nice. I love the way it works, and you don't need a pin plugged into it to tow. They say as long as it's down, you're good to go. Now on this side, we're going to have a little extra solar connection point to be able to add solar. Now, as I mentioned, this battery box doesn't have any batteries in it, so you could choose whichever batteries you want to put in there. Now generally we're going to put in 2 Battle-Born batteries if you would like us to do that, but we could also install the AGMs or any other battery that you would like us to install. We also have a low pressure propane quick disconnect right there, and then show you underneath We're going to have a spare tire right there, and that just drops down, full-size spare tire. You can also see your heavy-duty manual stabilizer bars right there, and of course it's a full aluminum wrap, so your aluminum all the way down through the bottom. You've got this kind of plastic material that comes down and covers that and overlaps that space. And backing up, that's just iconic trailer. I mean, Airstream is so iconic. Everybody knows what it is. And of course, Airstream, once you start looking at Airstream, they just start to pop up everywhere, on TV ads, TV shows, everything. So on the Queenbed, you're just going to have this front storage compartment that exists right here for your outside storage. This is all you're going to get. Now, that's just a bag that comes with the power cable, but it is good storage. You're not going to fit things like chairs, that kind of stuff. Honestly, with our camper, we put all of our outside chairs right inside that door when we're traveling. Once we get to the campsite, we pull them all out and set them up, and they stay pretty much set up the whole time. And if it rains, I'll throw them in the back of the truck, that kind of thing. Now, we're going to have the tankless Girard water heater behind this door here. There is a off switch out here. This is for winterization when you're not going to be using the water heater. We like to turn it off because it just turns the whole system off. But if you have no power to the controller on the inside, it's probably the switch is off, but that's for winterization. Right there, close that. Then you're going to have your Goodyear tires. They are the endurance tires. They're American made. Now, generally speaking, the max payload is 80 psi. You're going to generally put about 60 to 65 pounds of air in these tires, and that's going to give you a good ride. That PSI is going to be based on payload. 60 to 65 is what you're going to want to start out with, and maybe even less depending on what your actual payload is. Now, this does have the Dexter axles, so I can show those right there. There is going to be a bend in them. That's going to be normal. That's part of how they set the camber on the tires. You're also going to have that shock absorber right there that helps to dampen the ride as you're towing. Now, the torsion axle is going to give you a true independent suspension, meaning that all four tires are actually independent. It's not just the front axle from the back axle. All four tires have the ability to move up and down on their own. You've got three inches of travel on both ways, so up and down. It's a total of 6 inches of travel to give you an awesome ride. And Airstreams always have a super low center of gravity, and the arrow shape is going to provide just a phenomenal towing experience, especially compared to your SOBs out there, some other brands, your traditional kind of box trailer. Those are going to have a very large diesel truck passing. Those are going to have more side wind and more wind resistance as you're going down the road. Now, I personally see about 2 to 3 MPG better fuel economy when I'm towing my 25-foot versus when I'm towing a box trailer. Now, we're going to have the aluminum step, the classic Airstream step right there. And of course, with it being a flying cloud, we're going to have the manual zip the awning. I do have a video on how to deploy that awning, and I'll just link that above if you want to go check that out. Those two windows there do open, and I love how those windows do show you the campsite side. So when you're looking out those, you can see your campsite as our cool little campsite model setup. Now, coming around the back, we're going to have the window awning package on this camper. That is an option for the flying cloud. So that awning would come down. That window, remember, is in the bathroom and it does open. We do also have the standard backup camera. All of your marker lights and brake lights are going to be LED. And we do have a little bit of storage in the bumper here. And I love this storage for leveling blocks, your chalks. I have my extra 10-foot, so my other half of my 20-foot kit of sewer hose right in there, and then all the other little accessories. I store those in the bumper. That is going to be wet storage, so anything in that storage in that bumper is probably going to get wet. Now, moving around to what we call the business side, or I call the business side, or the road side, so the side that you're going to face away from your campsite. We've got the two little port windows there. It's a great look. It's classic Airstream. And that is going to be in your kitchen area. Of course, we have the window awning. Remember, that's an option there as well. We have our sewer hookups here in the back. We're going to have our black tank and our gray tank. Fresh water is going to be, usually the fresh water is in between the axles, but I think on this floor plan, just with the length they put it in front of the axles, there's a better view of the axles in the back. You've got your low point drains right there. And remember that bend in the middle is normal. They do that at the factory to set the camber, so the I guess top to bottom. You got your gray tank and your black tank right there. Remember, always pull the black tank first and then the gray tank. And above that, we'll have our furnace. We have an outside shower with hot and cold water. We're also going to have our black tank flush. We have our city fill that does have a pressure regulator built into it, so you do not want to put one on the outside. If anything, you just do that angle, that 90-degree angle, so the hose drops straight down. But no pressure regulator. It actually will prevent the water heater from kicking on. Then moving forward, we're going to have a smart plug right there, which works so well, just super easy to use. I want to upgrade mine at some point. Below that, we're going to have our coaxial cable input for TV or satellite, and then your Cat 6 input or RJ45 input for things like Starlink, internet, whatever it might be. And you may be wondering, what's that water leaking right there? Well, that is going to be your condensation hose, which is right there coming from the air conditioner. So all of your Airstreams will have a little pan up there that collects your condensation water with a little condensation pump, and it will actually pump through a clear hose down the wall, inside the wall, in that hose, and then drops out down there. So you don't have water running off the side of the camper just because you're running the air conditioner. Now you can see one of the solar panels right there. Now that window there does open, and then beside your smart plug, shore power, and data, you're going to have your freshwater inlet. This is going to be your potable water. It is gravity fed, so you just stick the hose in there and run it in there. It will flow out once it's full, and that's how you know it's full. And we do have the optional window awnings. I think I mentioned that already. Let me just pull around to the side so you can get a good full shot of the 23-foot flying cloud. Now let me grab a ladder, and we're going to take a look at the top of this flying cloud, and we'll be finished with the video. So here is the top of the flying cloud 23-foot. We're going to have one of your solar panels here towards the back, and then the other one's going to be there towards the front. You're also going to see that GE profile air conditioner. Now this is new for 2024. It is an air conditioner that Airstream or GE says will be more efficient than the Domestics and the Colemans. And if you're wondering why is there a GE AC unit on the top of an Airstream, and that's simply because Airstream's not happy with the number of warranty claims they've had on the Domestics, and I think also the Coleman, and they're wanting to give GE a opportunity to try to prove themselves to be better than the competitors. So we'll see how the future unfolds for them. You're going to also see that new front cap and rear cap that meets up here. I do have a video where I talk about the difference on the front cap and rear cap with Airstream. Now, let me move to the front there, and we'll take a look at the roof from the front side. Now before I climb up on this ladder and show you the front, I do want to mention with the new front cap, we also are now going to have new structure inside that cap that started for 2024. The inner ribs are now going to be a automotive stamped rib. Should provide significantly more consistency and a stronger inner rib structure. There's also new supports in the front cap in the front area to strengthen this connection to the floor. That's right, above the frame here, both on the front and the back. Rear caps, you're gonna have that extra structure in there to provide to give some more strength to that area of the camper, both on the front and rear caps. Definitely going to be useful with the front beds that have the storage up there. So that is something new for 2024. All of your floor plans, double axle floor plans, are going to have that new front cap and rear cap. You're also going to have that extra structure in the front area. So that is a huge improvement for 2024. Now your connection point for the Airstream connected pre-wire system is going to be right here at the front. You also see that other skylight, the solar panel, and there's one more solar panel there on the back. And of course you can see your king jack, HD antenna. That's what that kind of satellite circular looking thing is right there. And your front caps are actually going to be a little bit taller now with the 2024 model year. All right, folks, if you have made it to this point of the video, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video, to listen to me talk way too much for a way too long period of time. Now, if you're in the market for an Airstream, make sure you stop by Airstream in Greensboro or reach out to us. We'd love to take care of you and give you the best customer service possible. If you have any questions about this Flying Cloud or any other Airstream travel trailer or touring coach, my contact information is down there in the description. You can call me personally and I will help take care of you in your Airstream purchasing experience, give you an excellent experience. That's why we're 5 Rivet here at Airstream in Greensboro. Now, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're living riveted, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.